Doctor Who is always in my head. Sherlock Holmes is always in my head. I always wanted a crack at writing Columbo. Life is always like a comedy. Because it is the most exciting workplace in the world, right? Every workplace is exciting. It's full of drama and tension like every other workplace. But this is the workplace where if you've got a hangover, it can cause a war. Where if you get off with someone at the Christmas party, it'll make the front pages. He's also exciting because every government's exciting. I mean, we're cynical about them, but once you get inside them, it's electric, it's dynamic. People are living the few days of their lives that are the only days that anyone will ever ask them about. Especially interesting in the British government, because our government sits in a silly little street. You look at all of every other country in the world has big castles and palaces and all that stuff. We have a daft wee street. In the middle of Whitehall is full of mighty, impressive buildings with huge steel doors. Right in the middle is an outbreak of Lego called the government. It's a knock-through. It's a terraced house. Frequently the toilets don't work. The lift is always jamming. It's not got great disabled access. It's a ludicrous place to run a country from. And yet it sort of works. We can be cynical, but it sort of works. Britain hasn't done half badly. So, that most extraordinary of places, and it is both sort of hilarious because of the setting, and it's dynamic because, well, you get it wrong, people could die. There is one of our previous prime ministers, whose name I will not reveal, but you could figure it out, said, and I quote it in the show, being prime minister is basically choosing between two unacceptable outcomes. So placing characters in dilemmas like that and taking them seriously. We have a tendency to be cynical in our dramas about politicians. You know, they tend to be all the fools or cranks. And sometimes we make, sort of worshipful ones, like the brilliant West Wing is a sort of worshipful one. This is somewhere in the middle. It is, they are real people trying very hard to solve intractable problems. And for a show about politics, let me assure you, there is no politics in it. Because there isn't any politics in politics are strictly for the campaign. The moment they get in the door, what they're trying to do is keep the water coming out the taps, keep the lights on, and don't go to war, and don't have an affair with your secretary. That's just basically what they're doing. That's the job, right? So once we're doing that, once we're focused on that, I think you have the most exciting workplace comedy drama you could possibly have. Many times I've visited the real 10 Downing Street, one way or another, and I'm rather delighted to say that we filmed for 2 days on the real street, almost never done. So we were actually there, and then we built the ground floor of Downing Street in the studio, very, very accurately. We had the staffers from the real place come and visit us, and they were knocked out. The fact we even had the right flower pots. We're bang on. There's a little crack above the door of the real number 10, and we even reproduced that because we just wanted to say this is the show that tells you what's behind the big black door. The thing that also fascinates me is anytime anyone came to visit our set, or any time that we were filming on the real street, what everyone wants to do is take a selfie outside the door. So you might think you're cynical about government or you're cynical about all these things, but you want a selfie too. I think that big black door is an international movie star. I do, because it's the most famous door in the world. The pyramids took thousands of years to get that famous. That's only been opening for a couple of hundred. Oh, Lord, I don't know. Just what happens when I write, I suppose. I like being funny. Funny is good, but I don't think funny is contained to comedy. I think dramas should be funny too. I'm always saying that comedy is the truth and drama is a lie. In real life, nothing ever works out dramatically. You might be saying goodbye to the love of your life, but you're desperate for a pee, so you wish they'd hurry up. You might be deeply, deeply sad, but it's a funny day and there's a marching band right next to you. It's not, life doesn't work out like a drama. Life is always like a comedy. Get up, make tea for my wife, feed the cats and the dogs, get the cats and the dog, and then when Sue goes off to work, I'll sit at my desk usually about 8 o'clock, I suppose, and I will try to write. I'll try to think of something. Sometimes that involves staring out the window and trying to make myself laugh. Yeah, that. And I'll just keep working until Sue comes home at about 7. But, that sounds like I'm typing all the time, and sometimes I am. Sometimes I'm thinking, what the hell am I going to do now? Quite a lot of the time. Right now, I'm kind of short of a project, but I've got several unfinished scripts lying around, and I'm trying to choose which one to do, because I really should finish something. And number 10 has just finished shooting, so I'm feeling bereft of a project. I don't like not having a project, especially at my age. The way you choose a project as a writer is, what are you already thinking about? What are you ranting away about to yourself? What are you pacing? When you're out for a walk, what are you thinking about? That's what you should be writing about. You don't go and look for something. Something's already found you. What's already got its jaws clamped around your leg? What do you need to write out? And it doesn't have to be a big, important thing. It very rarely is in my case. It can just be a small thing. In fact, some ways I like writing about small things. Because most of the days of my life, thankfully, have been very small and undramatic and resemble a sitcom more than anything else. So the subject finds you. Whatever you're already thinking about is what's trying to escape from your brain onto the page. In a small way, the reason I did both those shows is because I love them. I grew up as a Doctor Who fan. The only thing I loved as much as Doctor Who was Sherlock Holmes. So it was a great surprise to me to end up in charge of both for a few years. That was a shock, and a very pleasant shock at that. It's not a particular ambition of mine to do that, but it must seem as though it is. Enthusiasm drives me. So if I'm enthusiastic about something, I want to write it. It's what I said before. It's what's already in your head is what you're going to write. Regrettably, because I like cheap fiction, Doctor Who is always in my head, and Sherlock Holmes is always in my head. And there's a bunch of other characters that I'll never get to write, but I managed 2 of my favourites, so that's anything more would be greedy. I always wanted a crack at writing Columbo. I think it's a brilliant format. 20 minutes of the best murder ever, and then the weird interrogation of a man who seems to be stupid, but is actually brilliant, and the genius of the way he nails the man. I just found the beauty of it extraordinary. I've always wanted a crack at that. Maybe only once, but just a crack at it. But Peter Falk is gone, so it's a bit of a long shot. Well, heaven knows what it turns into next. It's changed massively in the last few years. Massively. And I look forward and I'm excited by the changes. I like the fact that online has given us the short form, the super short form of this drama. Good. There's no particular reason the drama has to be half an hour or an hour and a half. I think that's exciting and different and dynamic and new, and probably requiring younger people than me. But I think it's a very, very interesting thing. I think the way we watch it, the moment it became possible for us to binge television shows, we did. And I don't just mean the young people, everybody does. Nowadays, when I watch television, I don't even know what channel I'm watching. I don't know. I just think I find it using an app and I go and watch it. And I think that's right. I think we now choose what to watch. We don't just say, we don't ever use the expression anymore, what's on television tonight. We just say, is there anything around? What should we catch up with? And that's right. I have no nostalgia for the appointment to view. What are you talking about? You make appointment with people, not with television shows. Television shows, you do as they're told. So I love the idea. As I've said before, your bookcase doesn't tell you when you can read a book, so the television shouldn't tell you when you can watch a TV show, right? So I think the evolution of whatever television becomes, and I couldn't predict it, I think it's all positive. I think it's all good. And you know what? We're making a massive amount more television than we used to. And all the back catalogue is now available on your damned iPhone. It's good. It's all healthy and exciting.